Good day everyone. So this is going to be a follow-up on my previous video where we looked at a Nilou Bloom team in detail, but this version is going to be the C0 version, so hopefully it'll be a bit more relatable. But all of the little tips and tricks and techniques that I used in my previous video will be used in this video as well, so we'll be going over things a bit quicker. As you'll notice, as in comparison to the past, my Nilou Bloom teams have gotten a slight bit of an upgrade, so slowly but surely we're getting there in terms of stats and artifacts. There is absolutely no rush. Right, so to begin with, we're going to tag the enemies, push against them here, allow Kokomi to use her skill. Now we're going to use Kolei's elemental burst, and Nahida. So very similar to the previous run, except of course there are a couple of variations I'm doing here, like throwing Kolei's elemental skill there to ensure that whilst her burst is now down, we still have this thorough or throughput of Dendro, and that enables us to quickly beat up these two mobs. So very much the same principles we had last time, but you can see now how pretty much well this works. And here are the enemies. So the technique to surviving all of these enemies is to just use your elemental burst during their phase. So this is exactly what I'm doing. So whilst they're busy hitting me and doing all these things, I'm just using my elemental burst, surviving, and look at that, pretty comfortable. So now we're just here with the final enemy and we need to take care of him. So obviously no Yelan here, just Kokomi and Nilou, and honestly their Hydro is going to be pretty creative a bit later on, as you'll see when we have the multiple enemies. In any case, here is the second floor. We're going to use the same Nilou trick that I talked about in my previous video to get these little flying wheels to stop in their tracks instead of flying off. In any case, they've already been taken care of, so that's pretty quick. And then Kokomi refreshes the jellyfish, Nilou, bringing them all together. We're going to now use Kokomi's elemental burst, apply 2 units of Hydro each to the enemies. With Nilou and Kolei here, you can see it's just so easy. When it comes to AoE, this team at C0 is just so good. And obviously now we'll be able to take care of these machines, but we've got this giant big blob of machines, so it's going to be a bit slower. You're just going to have to take care of him the usual way, but this also is a very good opportunity for you to start charging your elemental burst for the next floor. So that's exactly what I'm going to do here. In my Kokomi Taser team, or the C0 Taser with Farina team, it took us about, I think, 1 minute and 15 seconds, but here it only takes about 1 minute, so this team is definitely very fast. Here's the same technique that I talked about in my previous video, and obviously what we're now going to do is use Kolei. So we wait for the enemies, we iframe, then we use Kolei's elemental burst, Nilou's elemental burst. So you can see we're just hitting multiple enemies and just taking care of them so effortlessly. Right, the one thing I hate about this game is the fact that when the enemies have been defeated, they take a while to despawn, so we got stuck there for a bit. But in any case, so the strategy here is pretty simple. We want to obviously again draw the enemies near, and what we're going to try and do is try and deplete their health in a very even fashion. So you'll see me trying to stand more or less right here in the middle between the two before finally moving to the opposite side of the one enemy, because what we now want to do is ensure that when they fall back like that, they'll fall back in like a straight line, so it makes it easier for us to line up this very special thing we're going to do with Nilou, and that is use the sword stance of her elemental skill to apply Hydro to all 4 of the 2 constructs and the 2 enemies, so to all 4 of the, I don't know, pyro things on the field. That is a very cool use of Nilou's technique, and that's actually the very big thing that made me very excited for this video. In any case, here is now the boring cleanup part. You apply Hydro, you beat up the enemies, and with that said, I hope you guys have enjoyed it. If you've got any comments or optimizations that I could try perhaps, let me know. Cheers.